Calling to order the April 17th, 2025 Covina-Valley Unified School District Board of Education meeting to order at 5:31. Roll call.
Simon Wright,
Here.
Marie Caceres,
Here.
Rachel Robles,
Here.
Marie Cruz,
Here.
Sue Malucci.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Item 3, adoption of agenda. Do we have a motion? Do we have a motion to adopt?
Oh.
Motion by Mrs. Robles, or is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Malucci. Any discussion? Roll call.
Simon Wright,
Here.
Marie
Yes.
Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Marie Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Public comments regarding closed session. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any closed session agenda items will be granted 3 minutes. Mrs. Robles, do we have any public comments?
We do not have any public comments.
Thank you. We will adjourn to closed session, discuss all items listed at 5:32. We will reconvene to open session at 7:08. Item 7, the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Paredes?
Sorry. All right. I would like to invite Juan Delgado Pivaral, a 12th grader at Covina High School, and Principal Carrasco to the podium, please. Juan will begin by leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Wright, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent, Dr. Emmenheiser, Executive Cabinet, our valued community. My name is Dr. Daisy Carrasco Ramos, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as the principal of Covina High. It is with great pride that tonight I recognize a truly remarkable student, Juan Carlos Delgado Pivaral. I'm honored to introduce not just an exceptional student, but a student who truly represents the spirit of Colt Nation. His accomplishments are remarkable. Valedictorian candidate, AP Scholar with Distinction, Gates Scholarship finalist, All Academic All League, and recipient of full ride offers to every university he was accepted to. Most notably, he now joins the ranks of Covina High School's growing legacy of Ivy League acceptances. While his accolades speak for themselves, it is his humility, his determination, and his story that leave the most lasting impression. He has already made an incredible impact here at Covina High School, and there's no doubt that he'll continue to make Colt Nation proud, and he will represent the very best of Covina-Valley Unified School District. I'd like to introduce Juan Carlos Delgado Pivaral.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juan Carlos Delgado Pivaral, a senior at Covina High School. I was born and raised in West Covina, California, to 2 immigrant parents, my mother from Guatemala and my father from Mexico. Growing up in a Hispanic household, I didn't learn English until kindergarten, where I often cried, unable to understand my surroundings. But beyond those early struggles, I had a childhood filled with family and joy. At the age of 9, I found a passion for soccer, which became the center of my life. Over the years, I played at a competitive level, Elite Academy to be exact, earned the CIF championship ring, and learned the discipline that would shape me. But my time wasn't just spent on the field. Throughout this period of my life, my parents also owned a small catering business, una taqueria, and from a young age, I worked alongside them, cooking, cleaning, and translating. Sometimes, that meant missing important games to serve hundreds of plates of tacos, but it was our livelihood, and we didn't have a choice. In high school, balancing soccer, work, and education became even more demanding, but I knew I had to make the most of my opportunities. As a first-generation high school student, I had little guidance, but I sought support from teachers, counselors, and staff who all genuinely wanted me to succeed. I knew my dream was to pursue a higher education, and as such, I began challenging myself with Covina High School's array of dual enrollment and AP courses, all of which have done an amazing job in preparing me for the rigor of university. Through all these experiences, I was never alone. At Covina High School, I was surrounded by dedicated staff who did everything in their power to help me succeed. Whether it was morning tutoring sessions with my calculus teacher, my 9th grade teacher reviewing my college essays, counselors connecting me with engineers, or discovering and applying for scholarships in our Career Center, I always had a strong support system guiding me and pushing me forward. Through counseling, I discovered the USC Bovard Scholars Program, which supports high-achieving, low-income students in the college application process. Out of more than 2,000 applicants, I was honored to be selected as one of 100 students in Cohort 8. My most defining moment came in a worksite visit to Boeing in El Segundo, where I met Chief Engineer Luis Rodriguez. It was there that I had finally found the answer to the question that had long haunted me. What do you want to study in college? No longer was my response vague, something to do with math. I now had a clear vision. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. Since then, I've come a long way. Of an estimated 45,000 applicants, I was named as one of 1,500 finalists for the Gates Scholarship, a scholarship which, if I win, will cover my entire tuition. And out of 19 universities that I applied to, I was admitted to 17, including the likes of Harvard, UCLA, UC Berkeley, 6 more UC institutions, and more. If there's one thing that I'd like you all to take away from this, it is that success is possible for everyone. With resilience and determination, there are no limits to what you can achieve. And although it may seem impossible to some or easy to others, we all experience unique situations that shape our journey. And it is how we respond to those challenges that define our path forward. Para concluir, quiero compartir con ustedes una frase que me ha acompañado en todo momento, repitiéndose en mi mente como un recordatorio constante. Ponte las pilas. Ojalá que, al menos una persona aquí, les sirva de motivación para seguir dando lo mejor de sí en cada momento. To conclude, I'd like to sincerely thank the Board of Education for all the opportunities provided to us students, and to Covina High School for the unwavering support throughout these incredible 4 years. Thank you. And as a thank you to the Board of Education, we brought you a little bit of what Covina High School has to offer.
I thought you were gonna say you brought us tacos. I know. I think we were kind of hoping.
Gracias por venir hoy. Felicidades. Es un orgullo tener a su hijo aquí con nosotros y que sea un estudiante tan exitoso. Gracias.
You. Item 8, report of action taken in closed session. There was no action taken in closed session. Item 9, recognition. Item A, Northview High School Young Worker Leadership Academy students. Dr. Paredes?
I'd like to invite Dr. Dalton and Dr. Maglione to the front to help introduce our Young Worker Leadership Academy.
What an amazing start to this board meeting. We get to keep going with the amazing things that are happening here tonight. I am proud to be here with Dr. Magallon and his team as well too, Ms. Baker, Mr. Ramirez. Good evening, President Wright, Board of Education, Dr. Heiser, Cabinet, and everyone else here in the community. I'm proud to recognize an outstanding group of Northview students who were selected through a rigorous application process to represent Covina-Valley Unified School District as ambassadors for the Young Workers Leadership Academy housed at UC Berkeley. Through this prestigious program, they've received training in youth rights, workplace health, safety, and now are using that knowledge to empower their peers and advocate for safe, fair, and respectable work environments. Their leadership and dedication to making a truly different opportunity for students reflects what it means to lead with purpose and integrity. So please join me in celebrating these exceptional students. So I call your name, please come up, and Dr. Magallon will present you with a certificate. First, Nabhat Sanglim-Sawan. That's right. Christy Chow. Sebastian Ramirez. And the fourth member of the group is Hope Peoples, but she's actually at UC Berkeley right now on admit day. This would also not be possible without their awesome counselor, Ms. Shauna Jackson, if she could please come up as well. Instrumental in the process for making sure the kids applied and went with them to UC Berkeley to experience this awesome opportunity. So let's give it up one more time. Congratulations to each of these students. All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We're incredibly proud of you and your accomplishments, and we're very excited to see the continued impact that you will make in our community. Thank you, guys.
Item B, Employees of the Month, Dr. Dahl and Dr. Jacobson.
Dr. Jacobson.
Dr. Jacobson.
Good evening, Board President Wright, Board, Dr. Emmenheiser, Cabinet, guests, families. Thank you so much for having us again. It is our pleasure to announce our Employees of the Month for the month of March. It is always our favorite time of the month to do this because everybody gets to be recognized for all their hard work. Our first Employee of the Month that we're going to recognize is Bo Beatty. Come on up. Bo Beatty, an elementary physical education teacher, is a true champion for student wellness, inspiring our youngest learners to lead active and healthy lives. His PE classes are more than just exercise. They're filled with fun, energy, creativity, always making physical activity something students look forward to every single day. Bo is deeply loved by all the students he teaches, and thanks to his upbeat personality, inclusive teaching style, and ability to make every child feel successful and encouraged. He is a valued member of our educational community, and we are proud to recognize his outstanding contributions to the health and happiness of all of our students. And when we got to go over and recognize Bo, the kids were so excited. They had all these long tubes. They were banging them in the air, and it was a fun moment. So congratulations.
I think that was just Dr. Dahl with the tubes in the air, but. All right, our next employee that we get to recognize is Ms. Priscilla Hernandez. Priscilla is unable to be here with us tonight, but she's the School Family Community Outreach Liaison at the Health and Wellness Center. And she embodies compassion, dedication, and true commitment to serving others. She plays a critical role in connecting families with essential resources, offering a safe, respectful, and confidential space where their needs are met with genuine care. Since the start of the year, she has case managed and supported over 250 students and families, making a lasting impact. She's instrumental in improving systems at HAWC, or what we call the HAWC, and building bridges between families and the resources they need to thrive. We're incredibly thankful for Priscilla for her unwavering support of students, families, and the Covina-Valley community. Congratulations, Priscilla.
All right, our next Employee of the Month is Rebecca Everett Watson. Will you come up? Rebecca is an instructional aide in the DHH Early Start program. She is lovingly known as Miss Becky. Her small group art instruction is both innovative and engaging, sparking a love for creativity in our young learners. Her artistic talent is also evident in the incredible interactive bulletin board she designs, brings to life, and learning up to the classroom environment. A true song enthusiast, Miss Becky has an extraordinary memory for songs that support speech and language development, and often crafts her own lyrics to comfort and support students during times of emotional need or transition. She is compassionate, inspiring, and we are grateful for the heart and joy she brings to our program every single day. Congratulations. All right, our next Employee of the Month is Sarah Madison. Sarah is one of our psychologists, and she serves Las Palmas Middle School. She has worked in Covina-Valley for over a decade bringing her journey as an intern and growing into an irreplaceable presence at Las Palmas Middle School. More than just a psychologist, she is a cornerstone of school's culture, deeply embedded in the fabric of our campus life. Her weekly lunch bunch group fosters inclusion and connection, and she doesn't hesitate to volunteer for overnight field trips, even going to Catalina. Sarah is the very definition of what it means to be a school psychologist. Her impact is profound and very far-reaching, and we are incredibly lucky to have her on our team. Congratulations.
And our final employee of the month is our Director of Fiscal Services, Ms. Christine Tatt. Christine exemplifies dedication, professionalism, and kindness in everything she does. She's an incredibly hardworking and reliable team member who consistently goes above and beyond to support her colleagues. Whether the task is big or small, Christine approaches it with the same care and commitment, ensuring nothing is overlooked. We're so grateful for her unwavering support and the positive impact she makes across the district. Congratulations, Christine.
And out in the hallway, we have our Covina-Valley backdrop that you can go take pictures with your family and friends. And the photographer will be there as well. So thank you.
Okay, item 10, presentations. Item A, dual language programs. Dr. Paredes?
Thank you. I'd like to invite Dr. Katanik and Dr. Dalton up to the podium for an overview of our dual language, our dual immersion program.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis. Board President Wright, Cabinet, Dr. Emmenheiser, and guests, we are honored to be here tonight to talk about our outstanding Covina-Valley Unified Dual Language Immersion Program. On behalf of Dr. Katanik and myself, we would like to share some exciting things that are happening in the program. Oh, I'm sorry. Our program is targeted at two different languages, the Spanish dual language and the Mandarin dual language. Spanish is housed, I'm sorry, I pushed a button that I shouldn't have pushed with a mouse on it now. Spanish dual language is housed at Manzanita Elementary School. They transitioned to Las Palmas, and we're very excited for the transition for the first year next year to be at Northview High School. Mandarin is housed at Mesa Elementary School, Sierra Vista Middle School, and they'll be transitioning to 8th grade, so we are an additional year away from the transition to South Hills High School.
The vision for Covina-Valley's program has always been for our students to be bilingual, be biliterate, be bicultural, and be ready for the future. Our program goals include our students using two languages comfortably and effectively, appropriate for their age and grade level, to read and write in two languages at a level appropriate for their grade level, to perform academically at grade level or above their monolingual English-speaking peers, to demonstrate an appreciation of cultural diversity, and to be prepared to use their target language in college and career settings. There's ample research on the success of dual language programs, including studies that show students in dual language programs perform as well or better than their peers, that dual language learners are better at problem solving and multitasking, that dual language education gives students access to key 21st century skills, and that two language instruction is best for English language learners. As you can see, Covina-Valley's dual language programs mirror the research, with dual language students outperforming their peers in both English language arts and math at all grade levels. Here we see the data for Manzanita's Spanish dual language program.
The data continues to show the same impressive moves. If you look at Las Palmas, the numbers are outstanding, starting in 6th grade at 75% in ELA. Outperforming all of their English-only peers.
Mesa's Mandarin program also follows the research, with dual students outperforming their peers at all grade levels in both English language arts and math.
And once again, as you can see, nearly double the productivity in Sierra Vista and Mandarin in the 6th grade, both ELA and math from last year.
Here's our current enrollment for our Spanish program. We are in the process of expanding our elementary classes from 2 at each grade level to 3 at each grade level. So you'll see our kindergarten and 1st grade classes has grown, and that will move up to 2nd grade next school year. Our 8th graders were our pioneer cohort, as we call them. So they were a little bit smaller to begin with because it was before anyone in the community knew our program. And we've lost some students over the years, especially during COVID when these students were in 3rd grade. Our elementary Spanish program is a 90-10 model. This is due to language transfer. The Spanish and English language uses the same alphabet and almost all of the same sounds. So our students spend an extensive time learning Spanish initially and then transferring that knowledge to English. In addition to daily cultural exposure through literature and curriculum, Manzanita has many school-wide cultural components, including their cultural festival in May, which we invite you all to attend. We also have a mariachi band that started at Manzanita and moved up to middle school this year. And I eventually see our mariachi band playing at PTA events and maybe at Northview High School football games. Wouldn't that be fun?
Spanish dual language at Manzanita. It transfers up to the middle school at Las Palmas, where the students take dual language honors Spanish 6 with a targeted Spanish-speaking history class in both 6th and 7th grade. This past year, they transitioned into a pre-AP honors class to prepare them for high school. But they also believe that the language is part of the culture, and they've made a great effort this year to include a lot of cultural components, including field trips, multicultural clubs, the mariachi, the folklorico club. They celebrate the Dia de los Muertos, and they've done a lot of great work back down at Manzanita and at the elementary schools to celebrate the program. You can see here some of the wonderful dancers that we have in the Dia de los Muertos altars, the multicultural club, and even the band that you guys got to hear earlier this year. They are going to be transitioning into freshmen next year, and so we're excited to give them multiple opportunities. As you can see, there's different options that will be available for students based off of their proficiency, with one option being the Spanish 4 honors that will be cohorted together with the opportunity to take both advanced placement language and literature in progressive years. And based off of students that have advanced Spanish language, they will be given an opportunity to potentially begin in the language and culture class with literature. And then down the road, as we start to develop the program, the potential double accelerated pathways you could see with the opportunity for Spanish lit in 9th grade. We are excited to continue to grow the program and offer a true dual language opportunity. We are currently actively recruiting credentialed teachers that might be able to take the place of what we're looking at now, which is a Latino culture history class that would be done both in literature and Spanish. We are looking at how we can incorporate some of our pathways into Spanish as well too. So we're looking at both video production and medical careers pathway, where students would be taught in Spanish, then get to do their actual internship in a Spanish-speaking opportunity. You can see the progression of the core electives as they progress up from 9th grade up to 12th grade, giving students the opportunity and the option to take classes that continue to grow their Spanish language.
Here's our current enrollment for our Mandarin dual language program. Our highest grade is 7th grade, and our beginning cohort was much smaller than our the rest of our classes, and we also did lose some students during COVID and throughout the years. We are limited due to space availability at Mesa to 2 classes per grade level in the Mandarin program. So you'll see these numbers will remain consistent at about 40 students per grade level from here on out. Our Mandarin program is a 50-50 model, And half of the day, the students spend learning in Mandarin and half the day they spend learning in English. This is because Chinese uses a non-alphabetic system, so the language transfer takes longer. The students spend an equal emphasis on both languages so that they are proficient in both languages. For example, our students must learn both Chinese characters and the English alphabet. Mesa also has cultural components in addition to what is already present in their daily curriculum. They host a Lunar New Year Family Festival for all Mesa students, a mid-autumn festival as well.
Mesa transitions up to Sierra Vista for their continued opportunity and exposure in Mandarin. You can see the scope and sequence right now at Sierra Vista offers honors classes in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In addition to that, we are currently recruiting a B-clad Mandarin teacher to further explore the opportunity to continue with new opportunities in the Mandarin language. The focus here is on language and culture as well, and you can see that Sierra Vista has expanded their cultural components with field trips to the Shilai Temple, to the Huntington Library and Gardens. They've done some really neat things with the Lunar New Year. You've seen celebrations in the past, the cultural collaborations as well too between the middle and elementary school with new moon celebrations. You can see some of the pictures here. We are currently looking at a potential partnership with the Huntington Library. That would be a wonderful opportunity for the students to continue to grow in their language.
We honor students with recognition for those on target for the State Seal of Biliteracy on their high school diploma. Students are recognized at the 5th and 8th grade levels, and then again at graduation. So currently, our 5th graders that are on track on grade level in both English and Spanish and English and Mandarin receive this recognition. This year, since we now have 8th graders at Las Palmas, students that are on grade level in both English language arts and Spanish language arts will also receive this recognition. And then we continue on in high school. Our students who demonstrate bilingualism have the opportunity to have the State Seal of Biliteracy on their high school diploma. A big focus of our program is college and career readiness. We hope that our students throughout our program will have opportunities for advanced placement classes, potentially college credit and dual enrollment. But overall, our goal is to make 21st century global citizens that have bilingual job opportunities in the future. There are challenges in addition to the successes. You've seen our successes. We have an outstanding program that has amazing cultural components and community involvement. Our students are performing beyond my expectations, which is really amazing. But with that comes some challenges, such as identifying and recruiting credentialed educators that can teach the specific programs in the languages that we need them to teach it in. Researching and seeing the diverse scheduling options and course options for students. We're also limited by space availability at our elementary sites. And then there is attrition throughout the program of students coming and going for various reasons. In addition, an additional challenge would be funding for the additional teachers and instructional materials.
So we do continue to grow and research and learn all the time, especially as our 8th graders are transitioning up to Northview next year. So we do have some next steps and goals. We continue to look for community partners and outreach opportunities for students to practice their target language. We have conducted career surveys to see what kind of pathways students might be interested in taking in their target language. We're actively recruiting and working with teachers that might fit those needs, and we're excited to potentially offer those opportunities for students next year. Our goal always in the program is to maintain or even increase the program as it continues along. Next up, as you've heard multiple times, is recruiting of teachers. And of course, the last big challenge to our next steps in dual language is adding the courses and getting the students ready for 9th grade at Northview. We're very excited for their opportunity next year. Any questions?
Well,
Just
first
thank
of
you.
all, the achievement data, definitely impressive. But as you can see in the slides,
there's roughly a 28% decrease in enrollment from 7th to 8th grade in the Spanish dual language program and a 72% decrease from 6th to 7th grade in the Mandarin program. Do we anticipate a similar decline in enrollment when these programs expand to the high school level?
No, I think it's important that we look at those as cohorts. So we did not lose the students from 7th to 8th grade. That 8th grade cohort has been small moving through the grade levels. Does that make sense? Well, let me explain that. So we did not,
It was
first
the
of all,
beginning cohort,
it's
right?
the beginning cohort that started smaller in kindergarten.
Okay.
And then through the
So it's
years.
always been
Yes,
8 students.
yes. And we have lost some students due to moving, due to COVID. So there are reasons
So
that
it
we've lost
started at
students
8?
along the way, but it started smaller. So
Okay.
you can see since then, our class, I don't know if you want to go back to it. Since then, our classes have remained consistently around the 40 student mark.
Okay, because that looks like such a significant
Don't get
drop.
Too much.
Is that for Mandarin?
Well, it's
No, for
28% from 7th to 8th in
Okay.
Spanish and 72%
Go to the Mandarin.
in Mandarin.
But if we can get, hopefully we can get to the Mandarin. Here we go.
Sorry, 7th.
So if you look beyond the 8, so the 8 has been smaller. But if you look at the 36, so our cohort was larger the following year. And then since then has been around the 40 mark, which is our
Don't
goal.
expect a drop
No.
so was Spanish the same?
Yes, not as much. We have more Spanish speaking families in Covina-Valley, and it was
23.
easier at that point to get students to start that program. Mandarin is a little less used language within our district, so we did have to recruit students to join it. Now that we have had the program this many years, we do not have to do the same. We fill our classes and often have a waiting list
So
to enter
then
the program.
The answer is we don't expect
No,
a similar decline.
no.
Great.
It
My
used
next
to be,
one.
it used to be 14 though. Back when we first got elected, I feel, and there was a group of
It could have-
parents
yes, it could
who,
have been.
had a lot of concerns
Yes.
in regards to our Mandarin program as it was coming to the middle school. Do you guys remember that? Because we weren't prepared to, or we didn't have a pathway or what was going to happen from elementary all the way up to 8th grade.
Yes, we do. We've had a plan from the beginning and things change as, time goes on because we made a plan when these students were in kindergarten and life and the world changes along the way. But there was always a plan for the middle school and for the parents, but it was a scary adjustment for some. It is the Mandarin language. Also, remember I mentioned that it has 2 different alphabets and so we spend 50% of the day at each. There are times that parents are concerned that their students' English level isn't growing enough. And we work with them and encourage them to stick with the program, but there are times that parents may not stick with the program. There has not been, that I've seen, as we do this each year and look at the enrollment, a mass leaving of the program. It's just for various reasons along the way, we have lost students. And we have at other grade levels as well. It's not as significant because those groups started larger. And we have a more established program now.
So right now, the 41 5th graders are scheduled to be attending Sierra Vista
Yes.
and continue in this Mandarin program.
Yes.
And Maria just asked, can she piggyback
Oh,
on my
yeah.
question real
Sure.
quick and then I'll get back?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So for the 8th graders are moving to Northview. It's not a large cohort, and I do see that there's different options for classes. Out of those students, do we even know if they're interested in continuing that pathway?
These 8 students are going to 8th grade.
I think she's
So the
No,
Spanish
she's
would be
talking
the
Spanish.
23.
Spanish.
Back to
Yes,
Spanish
okay.
now.
The students are transitioning out to high school.
Yeah, so actually, the principals of the program are actually here. You have Dr. Magallon and you have Dr. Umana. Dr. Umana houses the Las Palmas 8th graders. He very much works with the community regularly. In fact, we have parent night's coming up in just, I think, a week or so, where the 23 have been personally invited to Northview to see what the program entails, to show them what the program will offer, and to start to make them Northview Vikings as soon as possible. So we're doing everything we can to keep all 23 and to continue to grow the program as it develops.
Would
But-
that be an option? Because I know, there's a lot of other students that might be interested in those courses. Is it open for other students that might
Yeah,
not
that's a great question.
have taken that?
We've done a lot of research. We visited a lot of different places, and the sustainable programs that have been around a long time follow that model where they open up opportunities for their dual language kids, but because it's a smaller population of the school size, they open it up to other students who also speak Spanish based on both availability and proficiency levels.
Especially like the elective.
Yes,
you know,
correct. The electives
know,
would
the
be a
general
great opportunity
literature.
for students that aren't in the dual, but are also home language of Spanish that have a high enough language proficiency or want to continue down an opportunity to grow their Spanish.
And those classes, those electives, would they get college credit?
Yeah, everything that we will create will be either in a dual enrollment capacity in some way where they will earn college credits, or A through G for all of the programs that we offer.
And I mean, just
And
thinking of,
graduation and
we
everything
want
as
to
well.
make sure that the program is successful, and if it's a smaller cohort, if we can open it to the school-wide, then it makes sense to continue to
Yeah,
offer
we're
more.
even looking at some of the same research models that show that some students might move into our neighborhood in ninth grade, or some students in ninth grade might actually see, wow, what a great opportunity. And there's opportunities to always test into the program as well too.
Thank you.
And that's at all levels, elementary and middle school.
Before we move on, would you be able to go back to the courses that will be offered at
This
the
one?
high school level? Now, this is potential.
Yes, everything's based off of hiring and credentialing. Some of
So
these are, go
My
ahead.
concern is that this is all potential. These kids are coming up to the ninth grade level already. In a few months, I mean, they're basically already there, and we still don't know what we're going to be offering these students.
So this is what we have on the books to offer, and we have been, and in fact, we just talked today in the medical pathway. There's a couple applicants that do have their B-Clad that are also qualified to teach medical careers that we're in the process of interviewing right now. And the Chicano literature is a English with a B-Clad, which is a more common opportunity for teachers to have that credential.
And coming from, I'm in education. I am at a school site where we have a dual language school. And the reason why this program is not successful is because we do not have a plan. So my concern is that right now, everything is still up in the air and there is no plan. We need something in writing. The kids need to see that this program is there and that it is going to be successful. So in recruiting, are we opening this recruitment up to our current staff? I know there is funding out there where we can potentially provide that opportunity for our current staff members to obtain their B-Clad. So have we done that? Have we had meetings, conversations with our current staff in regards to recruitment for these classes?
I can let Dr. Dahl talk a little bit more about that, but I do know in talking with Dr. Magallon, yes, there are current employees that are interested that also have the Spanish language ability and or are working towards B-Clad authorization, especially when it comes to the Chicano literature class. There is a teacher at Northview that's interested in this opportunity, and we have opened it up to the public as well too.
Have flown English with a single subject with a B-Clad, as well as for the medical pathways. And anybody who's interested in getting their B-Clad, my office helps with that process.
And we're also looking at, for that video production opportunity, being creative and looking outside the box. Northview has a renowned video production pathway, as you know. So even if some of the content is taught in English, the production could still be in Spanish, which would be a neat opportunity to still provide that opportunity for Spanish elective through that production.
If you look at the course scope and sequence, all of them are honors and AP. Does that exclude many students?
Well, these students have been learning Spanish since they were mostly in TK. So these students have the Spanish content to be able to pass these classes. And looking at the successful programs.
Open it to other
Oh, yes, the
students
AP classes will be open to all. It will not be exclusive to just a dual language kid when they hit the advanced placement. They already have both AP language and literature, and they have very good passing rates. And so we will be putting the students in those classes with other students, just they might be a little bit older.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on to my next question. So my question on my paper is, when we refer to attrition in the context of the dual language programs, are we speaking solely about the student enrollment decline or to program challenges such as identifying and hiring qualified credentialed teachers? And what are our budget limitations that impact the ability to recruit and retain? What are
So the attrition is referring to students
okay,
that leave the program
but what
for
are
a
our-
variety of
okay,
reasons.
So what are our budget limitations that impact it?
The
Because
budget
any-
challenge,
Yeah, the budget challenges.
it's as it is with all budgets, that sometimes they get smaller, and we still have to provide this material in addition to the English adoption materials that we have. And each year, as we move up a level, we have to purchase the curriculum or material that goes with that. So as we move up to high school, there will be additional adoption of curriculum and purchases that go with that.
Okay. Let's see. Is the expansion of the TK program impacting the available classroom space at our elementary schools in a way that could limit or displace the dual language classes?
No. So because when we started the program at Mesa, we knew that space was a limitation. So we planned out the available enrollment for Mandarin Dual. We just cannot grow it. So we can have our 2 classes per grade level, but at Manzanita, we always planned to have 2 classes per grade level, and that's how we rolled out the program. We have so many students interested now. We have now expanded to 3 classes per grade level, starting at kindergarten, moving up to 1st grade this year and 2nd grade next year. They have the available space, so we were able to do that there.
Okay. What strategies are currently in place or being considered to improve student retention in the dual language programs, especially during the middle school transition years?
That's a really good question, and it's something that we have been working on because, like I said, we made a plan when the program started that went all the way through high school. Things have changed since then. Something that's changed is our focus on CTE programs. We didn't even know in our heads that we would want to bridge the dual and CTE programs at that time. We are doing that now, which is amazing. When students moved up at the middle school, some of them were hesitant about the program, and because middle school is an awkward time for students. So we've really tried to make our students feel like they are getting the best of the best program. We added the field trips this year that only the dual language students get to go on. Our administrators have been spending extra time in those classrooms and reinforcing to the students what an amazing thing it is that they're doing. So we're trying to make those social emotional connections with them in addition to the academic connections for them.
I think I just have 2 more. Okay, maybe 1. Well, maybe 2. Let's see, how can we ensure that the programs remain sustainable, equitable, and beneficial for our students to the future? Because it just seems with space, with all the challenges, is it going to be viable in the future? The programs, period.
I feel like we have proven that we made the transition to middle school and we're now making the transition to high school. Part of having a viable program is having students that want to come to your program. At the very beginning, we spent many, many hours recruiting students for our program, and now our program speaks for itself. And students want to be in our program, and it's their top choice. We will continue to support the program. That's what we do. We're committed to it. It's not going anywhere. I think that as we roll out the program, it's unfortunate that you feel like we didn't have a plan, because there's always been a plan, but you don't enact the plan until the students are rolling up to that school. So it's time now to enact the plan at Northview, and next year we'll be enacting the plan at South Hills, and they won't look the same because our high schools don't look the same and the things that we offer at the schools don't look the same. Because at South Hills, we have the option to have IB Chinese as part of our program that we don't have at other schools.
Yeah, I think initially my concern was just when I saw the numbers, I'm like, what? That's
If I may.
where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and what was very interesting, we just did a visit to a program that has been around for 20 plus years and is very successful in what they're doing. And they're a school of 3,000 kids, and about 2% of their population is in the dual. And so when you look at our numbers, we fall within that same percentage in terms of the 23 kids that would be transitioning to Northview. So we will actually continue to grow in that percentage, which is a very good thing for us in terms of growth and proper percentage of students enrolled in the program.
What sort of participation are you getting in your surveys? Like if you have 300 something through the Spanish program or Mandarin, how many of those families or those kids are participating in the surveys?
Yeah, we started at the very beginning of this year with the agreement and the growth of our CTE programs. As you remember, giving the survey to all middle and high school kids about both college going and both CTE opportunities. I don't want to say made all the students take it, but we did a very good job providing opportunities for students in class to take the survey so that our numbers would be very reflective of the enrollment that we have.
That was the end of my question. I don't know about anybody else.
In regards to your middle school currently at Las Palmas, is the 50-50 model supposed to be at the middle school level as well? Or is that just the 5th grade?
So the 50-50 model kind of changes when you get to secondary because it depends on the electives that the students choose. For example, we have students in our program that want to participate in band. And because of our 7-period day, they're able to do that. But that does change their percentage that they're in the Spanish dual language program. But that is typical of all programs. I've gone back to look at the research because, there were times where I was like, is this the right thing to do? Is this not the right thing to do? And this is what happens when you get to middle and high school. Students start to specialize in additional things. They might be in leadership. They might be in a sport when they get to high school. So their classes adjust and their percentages adjust based on their preferences, but they have an opportunity to continue attending and to keep their level of their target language high.
But at the 8th grade level, I mean, they can still potentially be taking a history class.
Well, so you actually read my mind. We actually, based off of the surveys, last year we surveyed the parents to see what their interest in the second class was. And the parents didn't show a big interest at all, so we didn't offer that second class. It's opposite for the incoming 8th grade class. Dr. Umana will be hosting a 8th grade history class, so there'll be dual language across the board for 6th, 7th, and 8th at Las Palmas next year.
Okay.
If I could just add one thing that the board could help us with. So particularly in the Mandarin program, when you come to the secondary, we'll often find Mandarin speaking teachers that have single subject credentials, but not their B-clad, or they'll have a general elementary credential, but they are able to teach 6th grade. However, Sierra Vista is single subject, unlike Las Palmas and Trawick, where they core. And so by assigning those teachers who we believe are qualified, even at Northview High School, they have an outstanding teacher who is certificate, has a single subject in history. He also has a single subject in Spanish, and he would love to teach the Spanish history class, but he doesn't have a B-clad. So we can incentivize the getting of the B-clad, but in the meantime, during that process, accepting basically a mark on our data dashboard, because we would have teachers that would be misassigned. Thank you. So if you are okay with those misassignments for some of those hard to fill positions while they work through that, that would be good.
And I think something that I would like to see is maybe, I don't know if you currently have a task force, a committee, something where we have our elementary teachers who are currently teaching the dual language program, working with our middle school and our high school partners who will be teaching the dual as well in establishing those best practices, coming up with ideas. How do we sustain this program? Because, as you said, he surveyed parents, and if parents are not interested in this at the middle school level, I mean, was that also something that we had decided on doing, was serving parents at the middle school level? Or was it we were going to have an established program regardless of, and the parents should have known at 8th grade, my child is going to be taking Spanish and history, or Spanish and science, Spanish and math. I don't know at what point it was open for parents to decide at the middle school level.
So to speak first to the teachers working together, we do currently do that, and we've done that all along. The first teacher we hired at Las Palmas actually student taught at Manzanita. And when she moved up to Las Palmas and was the only dual language teacher there, she continued to meet with the Manzanita teachers for planning and support and continuity of the program. And then when we added another teacher at Las Palmas, the two there now work together, but we still have a partnership with each other. With our Mandarin program, it works the same way. Our teachers the middle school teacher brings students down to the elementary where the students work together as well as the teachers. Now that we're moving up to high school and not on the same they're on short Tuesday, but they meet in the morning, we probably will have to have a day where we get subs for the teachers and they can all come together during the school day at this point, now that we're moving to high school. But that has been happening.
Okay. Because as I went, I attended the CABE conference, and I was able to meet a lot of your teachers who currently, teach dual, was able to have conversations with one of our principals as well. And they have a lot of great ideas. I think there's a lot that we can do with the program. And I don't think that there's been a space where everybody can just share and collaborate together.
And we also have already signed up Dr. Magallon and his team to be going to the CABE one-day conference in Riverside.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Stops.
I would say from like 4 years ago, like it's just great to see how the program is moving in the right direction, and all the time and effort you're putting into this, and the trainings and the research and all of that stuff. I mean, it's something new for this district, so it's great what you guys are doing.
Item B, facilities project update. Mr. Correa?
Thank you, President Wright. Mr. Keith Kovach will be doing a presentation for the board.
Good evening, Board President Wright, board members, Dr. Emenheiser, Executive Cabinet, and guests. Tonight, I will be presenting our facilities update for our facility projects that we're planning for this summer and beyond. So once again, that's my team. I couldn't do any of this without them. Just want to always make sure that everybody appreciates how hard they work. I have a wonderful staff. I'm very lucky. Oops. So for this summer, for our maintenance teams, we're going to be doing our maintenance blitz again. We thought it was very successful last year. We're making some fine tuning, meeting with our teams, kind of seeing where we can adjust and make things a little bit better. Last year was our first year. We're also continuing with our summer custodial cleaning program that kind of works in tandem with our maintenance blitz. We do our district annual tree trimming. We test all of our fire alarm systems. We resurface all of our high school gym floors. And then we have like a laundry list of smaller maintenance projects, roofing repairs, carpet replacements. And then district-wide, we have a list of work orders that we need to paint classrooms. So one of our marquee projects for this summer is the new baseball and softball stadium lighting at South Hills High School. So this project is currently out to bid. Scheduled board approvals in May. Construction planned to begin in June, and then we're hoping for a project completion for fall. Bids are still due May 6th at 1 o'clock. So these are our red, green, blue, or RGB show lights package on these Musco lights. So when, somebody hits a home run or hits a double or something, there's a controller that somebody at the game can operate. So. Another one of our large projects for next year is the installation of new CIF regulation varsity and JV field at Covina High School, along with a new concession stand and restroom facility. So currently we're in the pre-construction phase with Miller Construction. So they were out last week during the holiday break doing surveys, doing our utility locating. They're looking at the second version of the plans that's currently in DSA, looking for any places that we can, skim, save money or make improvements. So anticipated guaranteed maximum price is scheduled for June. So what the contractors do is they basically go out and they run a bid to all their subs, and then they come back after they get their bid. It's like a public bid that they run themselves, and they come back and present to us a final guaranteed maximum price. And that, takes the best pricing that they get from multiple subs. And construction's planned to start in July with an estimated completion with the field opening in February of 2026. So here's an artistic fly-through rendering. It's a little long, but I'll talk you through it. So this is the proposed entrance that comes from the north side of the north parking lot. As you're coming through a brand new ADA accessible walkway, there's a seat wall on the left that's next to the P building. You can see on the right that there's the new JV softball field, the bullpens. Oh, I'm sorry, varsity. Sorry. And then on the left, you can see a large concrete area with new trees. There's new bleachers. There's the concession stand, and there's a showcase medallion in the middle, kind of similar to the South Hills High School paw that we're proposing to use artificial turf with an inlay. And then we're having to rework the pathway that goes from the current asphalt area down to the tracks, so that's also accessible. And then we are taking a pathway around varsity softball so that now anybody in a wheelchair can get to varsity baseball from an ADA standpoint. They can get from the parking lot all the way to baseball. They can get to the restrooms. They can get to concession stands. And that's the pathway that leads you to baseball.
That's a beautiful pathway, even for like promoting walking around it.
It is a little bit of a walk. So this is the current, or not the current, but the proposed area between the gym and the pool building. So right now it's an asphalt road. After we've completed the project, it feels like that area should be concrete all the way through. It ties the entire complex together. So as you can see, the new proposals to come through, you have a new concrete area, a new tree area, a place for seating. The site can purchase benches. They could put easy ups out there before games. And then this is the new JV field. As we turn the corner, this is kind of turning the corner on the open field around the new pool building, just so you can see the backside of the concession building, which is going to have 2 student restrooms and a gender-neutral restroom. And you can see in this proposal, we have all new concrete, basketball courts, volleyball courts, very similar to Trawick. Like I said, this is in the current conceptual package. And then I have some photos in the next slide to show you why we think that we need to do that extra scope. And so this is a flyby view into the new JV softball field. All right, next slide. So that's the condition of our current basketball courts. You can see my keys on the ground there for scale. They would have got swallowed up by that crack if they had moved over a little bit. So especially once construction is completed, this needs to be replaced or handled from a maintenance standpoint anyways. So we're proposing to replace this entire area with concrete, all new basketball courts, and new volleyball courts. You can see this is the existing asphalt road between the gym and the pool building that we're proposing to make that just concrete. So it ties JV, pool building, gym, basketball courts, softball all together in one big contiguous concrete area. It looks much better. And also we're solving some of the, and you can see in the photo on the left that there's some grade changes that were just look like a, oops, sorry, like a rolling slope in asphalt. So that'll all get stepped down and done in concrete. Okay, moving on. CalShape ventilation phase 2. So this project has been ongoing since I started with the district. So we applied for phase 1, which we looked at all of our air conditioners, we assessed them, we changed the filters, we installed little CO2 sensors in every single classroom. That was phase 1 work. Once we completed it, Covina-Valley completed it in a timely manner and got all of our applications submitted. Our consultant was very diligent about making sure that our application information was submitted in a timely manner. And then the state budget got really tight and they canceled the program temporarily. So then a bunch of facility folks and advocates went back to the governor's office and basically advocated, hey, for all the districts that did our work first, like we got approval for these grants, we should still get these grants. So then the governor, we kind of clawed back like 200 million, but it was only for the districts that had already applied. So Covina-Valley was on that list. We were awarded $6 million to replace HVAC equipment at Brank Elementary School, Ben Lomond, Cypress, Merwin, and Workman, Las Palmas, Sierra Vista, Trawick Middle School, and Fair Valley. Those schools were not selected by us. Those are schools that are considered to be the underserved sites, and that was the only ones that qualified for CalShape dollars. It also includes upgrading all of our energy management controls at all these sites and connecting some of the units that we never talked to before, like we weren't seeing the portable units and things like that. The key point, I have a bullet here, as CEC gives us money, they give us a really tight deadline to spend it too. So we have till September of 2026 to be done.
Do you see that as being a problem?
No, we're on it. It's just, it's aggressive. So we have to like move quickly. And then we're working through some of the DSA. We have closeouts that kind of touch things. But we have a good plan. And we're going to be publishing an RFP soon to try to bring on a contractor that we know, like so it's kind of like the lease back where we go out and do an evaluation criteria to find a contractor that can get this work done that's not going to hold up. And then we're going to work in parallel with an architect team to kind of design and construct together to get it done. Sorry.
I just wanted to say quickly that I wanted to commend Mr. Kovac because there was a lot of districts that were not on top of it, as well as Mr. Kovac was. And not only was the work from phase 1 was completed very quickly, but he made sure that the grant applications were submitted very, very timely. So otherwise, we would not have been fortunate enough to have the $6 million.
Now I have to get it done in 16 months. So okay. All right, DSA, my favorite. DSA closeouts and certifications. Certification since I presented last October, we closed out our certified projects at Grove Center, Roland Workman Elementary School. We closed out a legacy project that was at Fair Valley High School. We've awarded a contract to install a wheelchair lift at Mesa, and when we complete that, it'll actually certify 3 of those projects because the DSA makes them link us together. Like if they're going to give us our HVAC projects, they're going to make us do the wheelchairs. So they link those 2 projects together. So when I certify one, it certifies the way other, and then it'll certify the legacy project. So since I began with the district, we had 44 uncertified projects, legacy projects, and now we're down to 31. Marquee replacements. So we're installing new electronic marquees at the Haynes Center. I'm sorry. Covina, Northview, and South Hills High School are also getting replacement digital marquees. And Las Palmas Middle School is getting a new one so that it matches all the other high schools and middle schools. And then the existing middle school, or the one at Las Palmas, we're looking to repurpose. So we could repurpose at a different district facility. It's still in good working condition. We just wanted all the schools to match. So all these marquees have the same cloud software. Anybody that is granted access can publish to them, and it's a central system. It's very nice. At Manzanita, we're going to be installing 2 shade structures on the playground. This project is currently with DSA. It's a fairly simple process. We're planning on bringing a contract after we get DSA approved plans. Hopefully I can get the approval in April, get a contract awarded by June, and it's a fairly quick turnaround project, so get it completed hopefully over the summer, if not early fall. And so that's what we're proposing. We're proposing putting two 20 by or 30 by 60 structures next to each other, and they kind of tie together, so it creates one big 40 by 60 area that's on the asphalt right in between the two different playground structures. This was one of the only sites that don't have solar arrays. So this will provide shade out on the fields during the hot months. So some of the projects that we're still designing, so we're designing the new perimeter fencing and access control for the district office. We have an open campus and we get lots of visitors during the week. Manny Korea's security guard #1 down by his office chased a guy up into Pioneer a couple of weeks back. We have people using our fountain on the weekends and doing all kinds of mischief. So we're trying to enclose our campus and then on top of that create a single point of entry for safety. And we have right now vendors or anybody can just come and walk right on through, show up, park in our parking lot, walk into our offices. We don't know who they are, where they came from. So we'll be creating a new single point of entry coming through the front door, like into our reception area and then our proposal is to push all the visitor parking outside the front and then keeping all of the employee parking inside the perimeter fencing. So in addition to this, we're looking at installing additional perimeter fencing at Pioneer and Trade Tech. So those are the last two sites of ours that will technically still have open campuses. So we're working through that right now with pricing and design. And then the other project that's still in design, I was out there I walked with the architects and engineers yesterday, is installing new field lights at Northview High School. Since the state mandated the change in time to, I think high school starts at 8:30, it's shortened the amount of time that any practice can happen after school. So this will give those fields the ability to practice at night, potentially play some, non-major games. So that's in progress. So here's a kind of an overview of the district office fencing. It's kind of hard to see, but the little red lines is we're going to be installing some automatic gates. Staff will have clickers. And then that basically that little bit of fence line, those couple of gates, a little pedestrian gate and a double swing gate in the front will secure that district office campus. And then we're going to rework the front lobby so that the receptionist is literally between herself and the door. And then we have like a pony wall with gates or doors that people can't just walk in. They're going to have to get let in. So here's the proposed fencing at Pioneer, similar to all of our other elementary sites. We just kind of fence in between the wings. Fairly simple project, and that'll secure Pioneer.
What type of fencing are you?
The one at the district office we're proposing is the wrought iron. The wrought iron that we have. It's much more secure over the weekends, especially since we have all our equipment, our maintenance equipment in the back. But at Pioneer, we're planning to match the elementary sites with chain link. And then that's Pioneer. It's a much longer run just because of the layout of the school, and it shares that access road with SELPA right next to it on the right. So we're enclosing the little yellow line is basically the fence line with gates along the way at all the different pathways. That's it. Any questions? Yeah.
Just a little bit. Are you going to be using students this summer to help with different projects like the cleanups and things? What? The internship program. There you go. Preventative maintenance blitz. There we go.
Yes. So, well, that's my plan. As of right now, I had a conversation with Ryan Maddox yesterday, especially when it comes to how many kids, what pathways that I can connect them to in my department. So our goal is so our guys are going to be blitzing from like 6 to 11. Then they go to lunch. They also have work orders and projects throughout the summer that they can't ignore either. So I'm going to let them stop. Basically, they're going to work, and it's cooler in the morning, so they get up on the roofs. They do all their work early. So they get 6 to 11, and then that's why I want to have a team of CTE kids that are helping with that. So they're part of the group. I have Scott, who's our maintenance supervisor. That way, if guys don't want to individually pair off with interns, they can still work as a crew. They can work with the guys, and Scott's supervising, providing tools and supervision, making sure everybody's safe. And then after the guys go to lunch, my plan is to offer like either 3 or 4, depending on how many, any one of my staff that are wanting to, or, the helpers. And I have guys that have said that, yes, they would like a helper. And then that way they can actually go with them in their pathways. So like the welding class can go with my metalworker welder. And they can go out into the field at our different sites and actually do project work and some of the work, where it's not just our preventative maintenance stuff. Same with the HVAC and the electrical. So that's our goal. So our goal is, 4 to 6 interns to work with our team this summer.
Love that. My next question is, well, statement, I don't know. I love all the plans, and I love that there's going to be a beautiful bathroom at the softball field. But I would love for the board to approve a wonderful new restroom at Cypress Elementary for our upper LEAP students, or our LEAP students. I would love to get that on our summer list. And that's it.
Okay.
I mean, everybody will hear about it in my board comments, but yeah, every time anybody sees me from now on, that's going to be my mantra. Please, may I have
Already.
a wonderful new indoor bathroom? Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, item 11, discussion. Item A, Board of Education meeting schedule 2025, 2026.
Start that discussion.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
Just by proposing, instead of starting at 5:30, starting at 6:30 for closed session, and keep the 7 p.m. for open session.
I don't think 30 minutes allows us enough time in closed session.
No, it would be 6 to 7.
Oh, it's because you said
For
6:30.
close.
You
Oh,
said
I'm sorry.
6:30.
Sorry.
So do you want to start at 6? You want to start, you want to come to the meetings at 6 or 6:30?
6.
6 p.m.?
I like that.
And open session starts when?
Keep it the same at 7 p.m.
So 6 to 7, closed session.
For example, today we haven't finished our closed session. So an hour and a half, I think is good, but I'm okay with moving it to 6 and starting open session at 7.
I would prefer to start at 6 and keep our hour and a half. Because some days we need it.
Well, we can always do a second closed session.
Well, for the times that we do need it, we can always just reconvene.
Mhm.
Just so that I think keeping the 7 for open session, that's just, everyone's used to that time.
So
I definitely don't want to start at 6. I think pushing it to 7:30, I think it's too late, especially when we have the kids here. And plus our staff, I mean, we all work our day jobs and then long, but it makes it a really long night, pushing it out. I mean, I would have liked to seen us like start our board meeting at 6:30 instead of 7, like shortening the closed session.
I agree.
I know you guys don't. It's gonna.
5:30 start, 6:30 open session. That's what I would like.
So we're all on different
We're-
pages.
uh-huh.
They see.
I think the majority would like to start at 6 and
Okay, so
I don't
does
think-
the, I
Is
mean,
it?
let's just start with that. Does the majority, I mean, how,
How many want to start
start at 6? I'll
oh,
take
I'm
6.
okay with 6.
I mean, I'll
Okay,
do what you
there's
guys
3
want.
for-
I like the 5:30, but that's just me personally.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 people like
6.
to start. Okay, so now let's go for how long should initial closed session be?
1 hour.
1 hour.
I take an hour and a half.
don't
I
get
would like
both.
an hour and a half
You don't get
too,
both.
But
You're moving it from,
because then our,
I don't get both. Well, I mean, no,
me, you don't.
Who wants 1 hour?
I
1 hour. So I'll go 6 to 7, 1 hour.
well, I mean, yeah, that's what it just came out to be.
Yeah.
No, but there was votes. You see?
So what's the vote?
The vote was
So-
6 o'clock start,
and 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock open session.
open
Till
session,
7.
Okay,
Listen to the
so
vote.
just to clarify,
vote.
this is just a
just discussion.
discussion. So when we bring back the board schedule to adopt for a vote, what we're hearing is that the majority would like 6 o'clock start for closed, 7 for open. I do want to note one change that occurred just this week is that South Hills High School has an annual band competition that they run. They don't get a choice on dates, they're assigned dates, and it's very popular, and it's a huge fundraiser for their booster club as well. And they were given November 13th for the date, and since that's a board meeting date, or a suggested one on this agenda, we will be changing that to probably the 20th on the one that we'll bring for adoption, unless anybody has a problem with that.
Didn't that happen last year and we were fine? It was on the same date.
I think it was the same date, but I think it created parking lot issues for
For people to
for
come
people to come in because they only left this side part for parking, but we had a lot of visitors that came.
well, and this is also the space where they have their dinner, they
Yes.
eat,
Yeah.
they take breaks up here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So November 13th as November 20th.
And
yeah.
also, I would like to keep that we can only extend an hour. I don't wanna be here all
Oh, she wants an hour and a half, but she's only willing to.
Yes, I
extend
am.
An hour.
I'm only willing for that.
I like that.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You're welcome.
We can always have another meeting. You would love that.
I love these.
I mean,
All right, we moving on?
Oh, I just want to make sure everybody noticed that we did add a July meeting as well.
July 10th.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Special
that's
board
fine.
meeting.
I'm gonna try to request a day off work.
Is that, I know we've done it in the past with our summer graduation. Is that the same day or no? Okay. No, it's not.
Is
Penny's
it the
saying
same
yes.
day? The Friday?
Okay.
Oh,
It is the same
that's-
day, sorry.
that's convenient.
The Monday, June 29th.
Uh-huh.
I know it's 26 at 9 a.m. Are we able to move that to the evening or a Friday or?
That one's current, the one for the
like
2026?
2026? I'm like,
Yes.
I
we
was-
could
I
ma-
know I work Monday morning, so I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
We can. That's the one that we typically have a very short one where we just we have the LCAP and the budget presentation the week before, a few days before that Thursday, but you have to adopt it officially in a subsequent one. So that's the meeting that lasts about 15 minutes usually. So
So can we do it at 6 a.m. so Sue can come?
we sure
We can
can.
do it at 7:30. I start at 7.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we see patients at 8, so I mean, I can go a little bit late just to,
We
not
just
in the
take
middle of
3
the morning,
members Anyway,
especially on a Monday.
right?
Mhm.
8 a.m.
Oh, push it, yeah. So if we can do 8, I mean, with
I
that.
mean,
that
I'll
would
be
work better
on
for
vacation,
me.
so it just really doesn't matter to me.
Oh, yeah, my kids.
Whatever
will be
you
in
need.
school.
That works better for me.
Okay.
What was the-
8 a.m. We'll bring breakfast too.
Thank you.
In the Friday 9 a.m. meeting, we can't come in our pajamas, right?
You can.
All right. Item 12, information. Item A, Williams Quarterly Report. Dr. Paredes?
I'm happy to report that we do not have nothing to report.
Public comments, item 13. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any agenda items will be granted 3 minutes. Mrs. Robles, do we have any public comments?
Thank you. We have one public comment for open session. As a courtesy reminder to ensure the public's right to be heard, the board has adopted Board Bylaw 9323B, which states 3 minutes may be allotted to each speaker and a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject matter. Education Code restricts action or discussion by board members on non-agendized items. Please understand that a non-response does not mean that members have not heard you or will not take your comments into consideration. Thank you. Martin Meza.
So can you guys hear me?
Yep. Sir.
Hi. So thank you for your time. Appreciate you giving the parents a voice and being able to stand up here. I was just here on behalf of a CHS cheer, Covina High School cheer, and also advocating on behalf of my daughter, who's a freshman cheerleader there. Recently, there was a big change where I know there was a change in the staff as well, as they were removed from their cheer room. I'm sure there was reasons for why things are getting moved around, but it happened right before spring break, and I could tell you from my daughter and her friends, they were a little devastated. They felt like they were left without a home. As an incoming freshman, it's her first year there. The cheer team has become like a family away from home, and the cheer room has also become home away from home for her. So when they were pulled out of there, I think she's been a little devastated and just kind of maybe feels a little underappreciated. So I'm just here to advocate, one, to request if there's plans to kind of move forward and get them a cheer room. Maybe look around the campus. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a group of students that probably spends more time there on campus. You know, they start in the summer. They're there all year, kind of sideline cheer, stunt, game as well. So that gave them a place of comfort, a place to keep all the donations for snacks for their tournaments. And it's been about a week out, and I just don't know if there's plans. So just here requesting for that to be revisited, and if the cheer program can kind of have a home. A classroom or a place to call home on campus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 14. Superintendent, comments?
Thank you. So I did want to thank Juan Delgado Pivaro for his wonderful Pledge of Allegiance and speech about his family and Covina High. He's just been amazing. I have to say, every time I go on Covina High, he is just one of those students who stood out and just been so polite and friendly and always comes up and shakes my hand and says hello. And I just, he's just a model student. So I'm very happy to hear he's getting accepted all over as well. I do want to recognize our employees of the month. I think we had some outstanding employees every month. We have so many outstanding employees, and I just love how we are now recognizing them. The board is every month. It's just a wonderful reflection of what's going on out there at the classrooms. I do want to thank the student services team, the health and wellness team, and the entire ed services team for the health and wellness fair last night. It was wonderful. They had over 68 tables out there for our families, and many parents commented that they really were enjoying it and that they got some great resources. I also want to thank Ed Services for their dual enrollment presentation and the work they've done on that, and Mr. Kovach for his work, not only on the facilities presentation, but recently the federal government did take back or freeze any unspent ESSER funding that we received if you hadn't fully expended it, which that was how we paid for our elementary HVAC project. I'm proud to report the fiscal services team and facilities did spend it all, so we didn't have to give anything back, but I know other districts already have projects in place. So I think that was really a nice reflection of their diligent work on getting projects completed in a timely manner. I also want to congratulate Las Palmas Middle School AVID teacher leadership group and Dr. Umana. The Ed Services team wrote a grant on their behalf to California Avid for the teacher advocacy grant. They had over 1,000 applicants, and they only gave 3 schools the award, and they received the grant this morning as a surprise, and it was $10,000. So just a really nice reflection of what they were doing. So very proud of them for that. Oh, and that is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Caceres?
Good evening. I just want to acknowledge some of our theater students. I know Karime was in Legally Blonde and she was amazing. I loved everything about Legally Blonde. I went home and I watched it, and you guys were so on point on so many things. From the movie, I've never seen it on Broadway or anything. I want to thank Ms. Silver for always including our Trawick students as well and making them a part of their shows and their performances. One of the main characters at In the Heights was a Trawick student, so it was really cool to see. And that is it for me. Thank you.
Ms. Robles?
As a board member, I feel a deep responsibility to speak up for students who cannot speak up for themselves. Tonight, I want to bring attention to something that demands immediate action. I'm asking the board to visit Cypress Elementary and see the toileting facilities for our special education LEAP students. What we currently have is unacceptable. Every student deserves to have proper facilities that allow them to maintain their dignity. We must do better, and the first step is to see the reality with our own eyes. I ask the board to provide the necessary financial resources to ensure we can provide adequate toileting facilities for all of our students. In addition to this, we must recognize the growing need for resources as the number of transitional kindergarten students is increasing starting next year. We know that this change will bring additional demands to our classrooms and facilities. We must be proactive now to ensure that we have the resources in place to handle this growth. We're fortunate to have incredible staff, but they need more support and more training. Our staff is dedicated, hardworking, and passionate, but without the right resources and ongoing training, we're setting them up to fall short. These classrooms need the proper support to ensure our students have the best possible education and care. We must make sure that our staff has everything that they need to be successful. I'm here to advocate for them and advocate for what's right. I won't stop until every student, especially those who rely on us most, has what they need and what they deserve. Many of our students can't speak for themselves, but I can, and I will, because their needs are real, their challenges are real, and their voices matter, even when they can't use words to tell us. I'll keep showing up, keep speaking out, and keep advocating because they deserve nothing less. I invite anyone who wants to come to April 24th to the Walk and Talk, and we can have wonderful conversations and develop relationships. I think communication is key to keep our district on the right path. Thank you.
That's kind of hard to follow. Good evening, everyone. I also want to thank Carlos for coming and sharing about Covina High School and his story. I have no doubt in my mind he'll be extremely successful in any of those colleges that he chooses to go to. And I know his parents are very proud of him. I'm very proud of him, and I've only met him a few times, but he does make a huge impact when you do meet him. To have the Health and Wellness Fair was great last night, a huge turnout. The vendors were great. The families were having a good time. So it was nice to chat with some of the booths and some of the parents and the students that were there. The showcases were amazing at all the campuses. It's so nice for the community to go out and see what's actually happening on the inside, just not being able to look from the outside. So that was really exciting to attend those. I also was able to attend Cave and very eye-opening, and we were able to come back with a lot of questions. Maria beat the questions to me for me, but it's okay as long as the questions are being asked and we're getting our answers and things are starting to roll in motion. That's what's most important. Congratulations to our leadership students, our employees of the month. And a shout out to the cosmetology department. I went and got my nails done, and another shout out to Maria who did them for me. It's a great facility. I would love people to go see it and take advantage of it. They're open to the community Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and the students do everything they need to get their hours. Very polite, very professional. It's a great facility, so even if you just go see it, you definitely need to go see it. And it's just another proud thing that we need to brag about with all our CT programs and all of the adult programs we're doing. The community just really needs to know about it. We really just need to continue to push it out there so that people know what's happening, all the great things happening on the inside also. And that's it. Thank you.
Dr. Cruz.
It's kind of hard to follow all of you. Just want to hope everyone had a restful spring break. I think I missed last month, and just coming back, I'm just like, wow, the amazing things everyone's doing, the hard work, our staff, the dedication that everyone puts, and I guess the theme that today I kind of felt was like, we all are here for the students and for the well-being of our community, our staff, and I just love to see positive culture we're creating collaboratively as a whole. So that's just really nice to see how everyone's here for the same mission, which is to make sure that we have more Juan Carlos, that they have the resources of support that our students need so that they can thrive. I mean, we all have a story of challenges and success, and it does take a village. So it's great to see that we are that village for a lot of our students.
Thank you. Well, for me, it's been a busy last 30 days. Since our last board meeting, I've attended an Optimus Hero breakfast, team stunt games, dance competitions, California Association for Bilingual Education Conference in Long Beach, and I got a haircut at the Trade Tech Academy Cosmetology as well.
Oh.
Maria saw him too.
Like it, guys? Thanks. Maria also cut my hair.
Yep.
So it was great. No, I didn't get nails. I did my hair.
Everything, which we did learn. They all have to learn everything. They just can't go do one specific.
Yeah, absolutely. The instructor there, the name can't remember, but she does a great job supervising. I also tremendously enjoyed Legally Blonde at South Hills. It was a great job done by our student board member over here, Karime. Yesterday's Health and Wellness Fair was a standout with over 70 community partners and 3,300 teriyaki bowls. Thank you to everyone who showed up, demonstrating their commitment to our district and our students. It's important that we maintain, nurture, and grow relationships with our community, builds trust, builds resilience and transparency. It also fosters growth for our partners as well as the district. So a special thank you to all of our community partners who help guide and promote our district. Thank you also to the hardworking district staff who make these, help keep these relationships going strong and these events possible. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. So happy Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and I hope everyone has a blessed Easter Sunday. Item C, Jocelyn Molina.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to first thank Juan Delgado for that amazing story that he shared with us. I think stories like that are a testament to our community and our district and its strength, support, and dedication that it continually shows to our students. We recently had our Viking Fest before going on spring break, and our Viking Fest, it was an amazing time where we got to really show what's great about Northview and what's great about, again, our district. That just shows. We got to show off and showcase our amazing staff and students, their hard work and dedication. And before that, we got to have Shadow Day with our Lancers, and it was just amazing. I got to speak to a lot of them, and they just were showing so much excitement about not only what's going on there at their school, but that transition. They're excited to make the transition to Northview, and it's because we offer great things, and our district is supporting them throughout as they're going. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I give a shout out to Northview? 'Cause I know that there's this little competition among them when it comes to showcases, and they did have the best one this year. So you can go ahead and tell Dr. Magayon that. I went to all three, and it was amazing. You know I love you, Covina, but all of the students were so engaging. It was just fun, right?
It was fun. It might
I
have been
mean,
Covina got rain.
Well, I loved Covina's,
I'm just saying.
but yes. I mean, it was just the students were great, so welcoming, so engaging, having conversations with the community. It was just awesome. So thank you.
It's an ASB kid who had to stay late all week. Thank you.
All right, item 15, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Cruz. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina, Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Action items. Item 15, item A, declaration of need for fully qualified educators. Recommendation is made that the declaration certifying that there is an insufficient number of certificated personnel who meet the district specified employment criteria for the 2025-26 school year be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jocelyn Molina. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles, Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item B, authorization for disposal of obsolete and surplus property. Recommendation is made that the authorization of district superintendent or designee to dispose of obsolete and surplus property in the most efficient and economical manner according to the provisions of Ed Code Section 17546 be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Cruz. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina, Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles, Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item C, award of bid. Bid number 24-25-105, MOFT 0049, Mesa Elementary Wheelchair Lift to Leonida Builders, Inc. Recommendation is made that the Board of Education award the bid summary number 24-25-105, wheelchair lift installation at Mesa Elementary School, and contract for services to Leonida Builders, Inc. in the amount of $202,400 be approved. Do we have a motion to approve? Moved by Mrs. Robles. There is a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Malucci. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item D, resolution number 24-25-12, designating an authorized certifying official for reporting related to the elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds. Recommendation is made that resolution number 24-25-12, designated an authorized certifying official for reporting related to the Economic Development Initiative Community Project Funding Grant be approved. Do we have a motion to approve? Moved by Mrs. Robles. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item E, resolution number 24-25-13, approval of commitment of funds to perform stucco and incidental work related to Covina High School pool and making related determinations. Recommendation is made that resolution number 24-25-13, approving commitment of funds to perform stucco and incidental work related to Covina High School pool and making related determinations, which commits funds not to exceed $500,000 from the special reserve fund for capital outlay projects be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Caceres. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Robles. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item F, Great Minds PBC. Recommendation is made that the Eureka Math Squared curriculum published by Great Minds PBC, which will provide print materials, manipulatives, licenses, and professional development valid from 2025 to 2033 for students from grades transitional kindergarten through 5th grade be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Moved by Mrs. Malucci. Is there a second? Second by Dr. Cruz. Any discussion? Roll call?
Jocelyn Molina,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item 17, new items. Board members and superintendent may share any new items. Anything to share? Anyone?
You know what? I would like to look into restroom facility plan for Cypress, as well as look into special education board policy for the next meeting.
Special ed board policy, restroom facility.
Item 18, closed session. The board will resume to closed session for further discussion at 8:56. We will reconvene to open session at 10:09. Report of action taken in closed session. No action was taken in closed session. This brings us to item 19, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn at 10:09? Motion by Ms. Robles. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Malucci. Any discussion? Roll call?
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Our next regular board meeting will be held on Thursday, May 8th at 5:30 p.m. for closed session and 7 p.m. for open session at the Haynes Professional Development Center.